Okay, now pattern number 6 in your strumming patterns is all downs, and if you remember it on a G chord, it would just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so to prep our lesson today, because right now we're getting ready to play fast songs, and it's gonna be hard for you to strum all 6 notes all the way down on a fast song, going 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, a few things that you want to know is that when you strum a fast song, you don't have to strum all 6 strings down on every single beat. So there's a couple techniques that I can show you. The other thing that we're going to talk about is our arm and how much arm we use depending on the song, and mostly the movement is going to happen in your wrist right here in your wrist. So let's talk about first of all about what are you going to do if you don't hit all 6 strings. Well, like for example, if we were going to play a G chord all the way through, on beat 1 you would strum all the strings, and then the rest of the beats you could just strum either the bottom 4 or 3, or even if you, depending on how the sound you want, you could strum the top 2 or 3 or 4. So you could go like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So on the and 2 and 3 and 4 and, I'm just strumming the bottom 3 strings on my guitar. On the other one though, I'm strumming all 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The other thing you could do, same thing, just instead maybe strum just the top ones. So you could go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Hear how that gives you a little more bass sound. All right, let's try that together. Let's try, we'll just do that strumming pattern so you have your guitar there, hopefully. We'll do that right now, where we'll strum just the first time on the 1, we'll strum all the way down, 1, and then on the and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we'll just strum the top strings. So ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, good job. Now, did you notice when you were doing that you were able to go a little bit faster, and you were also putting an accent? It sounded like an accent on 1 because you got more sound, more strings. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, good. So with that said, we're going to look at the page that says playing a fast song. It's around page 39 in your book, and there's 3 chords now. One of the trials that you're going to have right now is going from G to C to D to C quickly with this fast pattern. So today we're going to work on not breaking the rhythm. We're going to try to switch between the 3 chords, and you don't have to play all the strings on every chord. You can just play the top notes. Before we try it, let's review. A G chord, you would play the top, maybe top 2 or 3. Okay? On a C chord, you're not going to play the top note. You're not going to play the top E, low E, right? You're going to just play maybe the 5, 4, and 3 string. Just those. You're going to skip that top string. And then on the D chord, the root of the D chord is the 4th string up. That open string right there. That's the root. So you can play that on a D. Just play when you play a D. You go like 1 and 2 and 3. So you kind of keep your pinky down on your right hand. And you kind of get right up on that string, just a little pick hanging out, just a little teeny pick hanging out, and you're just right there, okay? That's how you're going to get the D to sound like that. Let me play the pattern that's in your book. It's G, C, D, C, and it goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, now I'm going to play a little slow motion and talk you through it. That's what it'll sound like, and that's a medium tempo. Some of the fast songs will go much faster than that. So today we're going to build up our speed, and this week you're going to practice building speed. Slow motion though would go all the way down on 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 you see that on the 1 and on the 3, when there's a new chord, I'm strumming the whole chord and then just go on reverting up to the top. You could also do the bottom one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now you're just strumming lightly on the bottom strings and you're doing the whole chord. Okay, let's start our metronome. And let's go down to 60. We'll start really slow. We'll see if that's slow enough today to start with 60. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and okay, now play along with me. Here we go. And play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Chords go G, C, D, C. Good, good. All right, we're going to take it up 10 clicks. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and C. Have to strum all the strings on that to a C chord. Good. All right, good. We're going to take it up 10 clicks. Stop on the G here. We're going to take it up 10 clicks. We'll be at 80 beats per minute. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. One more time. Now we're going to run it up to 95. Jumping up here. Ready, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Good. I hope you're keeping up, and this will be your practice this week. We're going to pop up to 120 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's just strumming the bottom strings. Do it one more time. Pop up now 140. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Good. One more time. All right, good and stop. And we'll do one last one at 160. Which will really be cut that in half, cut 160 in half, and you'd have 180. Or you'd have, I'm sorry, you'd have 80. Cut 160 in half, you'd have 80. So we'll go 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Good, just keep strumming down. Make sure you're holding onto your pick tight. Okay, good. Now, when I said that before, if you cut 160 in half, you'd have 80. Let's do that right now. We're getting up here now. 160 now is that's the quarter note, and we're actually making 160 the eighth note. So we're going to drop it down to 80, which would be half of 160. Drop it down to 80, and it'd be just as fast if you played the 1, 2, That's the quarter. Then divide it into eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. See what I mean? Same tempo as. Okay, good. So we have 180 and we have 160. We have 80 and 160. That would be the same if you do the division right. So you could do 80 and do it double fast, or you can do 160 and have it be tin, 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 tin on every beat. So this week, what you're going to do is you're going to do that. You're going to try to play the GC-DC pattern as fast as you can, starting with your metronome slow and moving up. You can do that practice we just did on the video. You can do that every day until you get it fast enough. Remember that you do not have, you just play basically just the bottom strings or the top strings, and when you change a chord or on the one beat, you play all of them. Gives you a little accent, and you'll practice with that. Hold on to your pick. Sometimes your pick might fly out of your hand, and that's what this is. It's all about developing practice, just lightly on the hand. Now, one thing that I said we talk about a little bit before we close our lesson today is the arm. You're not, hopefully watching back, you can even rewind the video, look at it. I'm not going 1, 2 with my arm. I'm not using the elbow joint to make the big strum, but mostly in my wrist. So you want to practice. You want to practice with your wrist, with your arm, your forearm straight, and maybe move your wrist. Just like we were shaking hands, there's a little joint in there, and you want to be able to use that instead of using your whole arm. Sometimes you'll use your arm one time for a nice hard strum, and then you'll go back to wrist. So, but in the beginning, I'd like you to kind of stick with the wrist. Get used to doing your wrist. Don't be doing your whole arm, and don't tighten up anything. You want everything to be loose and relaxed when you're doing this. The songs and practice that you're going to do this week are basically, if you're having trouble switching between chords, you want to take some time and practice switching between those chords. And also practice with your metronome, starting at around 60 or 50 or however you want to do, and do each one maybe about 2 or 3 minutes and crank it up 10 notches. Do another 3 to 5 minutes until you get it perfect, until you can do it without breaking the rhythm. Then crank it up another 10 notches and keep going. And then if you do all that, you'll be ready to play songs like Every Move I Make, I'll Fly Away. All of those songs that we're going to be learning are basically a down strum with a rhythmic down strum, Trading My Sorrows. All those songs and more are going to use this pattern. It's really important that you master this and that you understand how to get the pick on the strings. So good luck this week. If you have any questions, email me. Let me know what you might have question-wise. And we'll see you next week. Thank you, guys. Thank you for sticking through this lesson. Good luck with your practice. All right, bye-bye.